What's up, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please subscribe if you haven't. So, in some people's eyes, they may look at this situation like things just got worse. And when I say that for the Clippers, we're hearing reports now that a former Clippers player might be signing with the Timberwolves, the team that just beat the Clippers the other night and beat them soundly. And now they might be adding another veteran piece that can give them a little bit more playoff leadership. And the name I'm talking about, of course, is Marcus Morris. Now, Marcus Morris, he was on the Philadelphia 76ers. I believe he was traded to the Spurs, but he was on the 76ers, most of this year, and he was shooting like 40% from the field, and he was actually doing fairly well with them. But the good thing is, I'll say this for Clippers fans, it might not make much of a difference because it might not be much room for him on the Timberwolves if he goes there, because the way they are is pretty much, the way they're probably going to be going forward, because if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And I think that's basically the mindset probably the Timberwolves actually keep. But having him in their back pocket definitely won't hurt for their cause, because I think he will bring, some playoff implications to that team and bring some toughness to the team, because that's exactly what he did for the Clippers everywhere he's been. Pretty much him and his brother Markieff. They bring toughness to a team, they add that depth to the team, and they add an extra shooter. So, adding that to what the Timberwolves already have can make them a little bit more scary, a little bit more dangerous. But at the same time, what's in the Clippers' advantage is they have 4 Hall of Famers. And with those 4 Hall of Famers, if they stay healthy, they can challenge anybody in the West. They can challenge anybody in the NBA. Because in a 7-game series, you have to realize one thing. It's going to be hard to knock out the Clippers in a 7-game series with that much talent. It just is. Because, playoff Kawhi is a little bit different than every player in that series. Playoff Kawhi is a little bit different than every player in the NBA, actually. So, with that being said, that's already a mountaintop, a colossal type thing in its own. Then if PG can actually be consistent along with, James Harden giving you a consistent, 17 to 20 points with like 10 to 12 assists with less turnovers, along Russell Westbrook chipping in double digits, well, they're going to be fairly hard to beat, especially if they get extra contributions from Norman Powell, which I know they will, because he's just a walking bucket when he's right. And like I said, if they can get a little bit more contribution out of Terrence Mann, not even specifically offensively, but more so defensively, that would really put them in a better situation as well, because honestly, he's not really actually out there for his offense per se. He's out there to take the shot when he's wide open if he's got it, but he's more or less out there to bring energy and effort and defense. So, if he does that, along with the big 4 playing how they can play, Norman Powell coming off the bench doing what he does, they get extra contribution from other players like Daniel Tice, Mason Plumlee, and they get Zubac going, especially off the minutes restriction, which I know he'll be off it by that time. And that definitely will, better their chances. But I do think that the Timberwolves will get a little bit better. I think maybe not much better to me with Marcus Morris, because like I said, I don't know how he's going to really fit in that rotation, because they're winning. They're currently the number 1 seed or winning with the rotation that they have. So why break that to bring somebody like him in and put him in the starting lineup when you really don't need to? You see what I'm saying? If you're winning with what you got, it's no need to really try to go elsewhere. So he might just be a backup on the bench or something like that. But even if he is inserted in the starting lineup, I still like the Clippers' chances if they played in a 7-game series, because there again, like I said, the Clippers, honestly, they got more experience on their team, and honestly, they got better players. Kyle Anderson, McDaniels, players like that, they're good. Naj Reid, they're good. They got good size in the paint, rim protection, all that. But like I said, a playoff Kawhi is just a different level. And like I said, in that series specifically, Kawhi is the best player in that series. And the second best player in that series, 1A, 1B, however you want to look at it, should be Paul George. It should be. Now, him and Kawhi can go tit for tat in that series, because they're just the best players in that series if it happened anyway, if you ask me. But, hey, that remains to be seen, because Ant is coming. You know what I'm saying? He's basically here now. So, Ant-Man is the guy, and Karl-Anthony Towns is just feeding off of the energy of the team and just doing his thing. And he's basically like the X factor for that whole series. And the X factor for the Clippers, to me, in that whole series would be Norman Powell. If they get 15 to 20 out of Norman Powell consistently, if they play in a 7-game series, the Clippers win that series 4-2, in my opinion. So, I mean, we have to see how it plays out and everything, but it's definitely, an eye opener, I would say, if they do get Marcus Morris, because like I said, he would bring more toughness to the team. He would bring more playoff implications to the team, and he would bring more, wisdom to the team, because he's been in the league for about 10, 12, however many years. So, I mean, he has a lot of experience, and he knows, a thing or two about the playoffs, and he knows how to play basketball, of course. So, I mean, that definitely will, add another, layer to, how good the Timberwolves are, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help them win, because like I said, the main guys on the team are young. The main guys on the team don't have that playoff experience like that. I mean, Anthony Edwards don't have much playoff experience. Neither does Cat. He's been there for several years, but the Timberwolves, in his several years being there, Timberwolves made it like once or twice. So, I mean, like, he doesn't have that much experience. So it's like, when you think about that, the main guys not having that much experience can really dictate the series, because those are the guys who take the most shots. So, I mean, with that being said, it would be a tough series. I would love to see it, honestly. I actually think that's what it's going to come down to, my personal opinion. If the Clippers stay healthy, I believe it's going to be the Clippers and the Timberwolves for the Western Conference, in the Western Conference Finals. I just believe that to be true. So, I mean, of course, nothing's set in stone, but I mean, I think that's what we can expect, or what we want to look for, especially with this matchup, and seeing how it plays out, because the Clippers, of course, I know Ty Lue's going to try the small ball thing, but hopefully he has another strategy by then, because the small ball might not specifically work against this team in a 7-game series. It might win you a game or two, but I don't think it's going to win you 4 games in that series. So there's going to have to be some huge adjustments made if they play this team with or without Marcus Morris, because, I mean, honestly, the team is good right now without him. So, I mean, it's going to have to be some adjustments made. I think, I hope that Ty Lue can make them. I hope that Ty Lue sees or figure out a way, since that's his job, to figure out a way to put the team in the best position to win. Hopefully he can figure out a way to do that. And it'd be nice for us to see that series, honestly. I mean, not unless, the Timberwolves or something like that get knocked off before then. I mean, the Clippers can get knocked off before then, but I just don't see it if they're all healthy. So, I mean, that would be a good 7-game series. Very exciting. Lot of highlights. I can see that now. I mean, a lot of dunking, a lot of people getting posterized, a lot of people getting dropped with the handle, like we saw Paul George do on Ant-Man, which, anybody trying to talk about that. But either way, I think it'd be a great series. And, regardless of them having, Marcus Morris or not, maybe that's where the Clippers might be able to find a way to utilize somebody like PJ Tucker, because honestly, when you think about it, the Clippers have a Marcus Morris on their team too. They have PJ Tucker. Tucker is a bruiser type guy who can go in there and be physical and knock down 3-pointers. He can do that. He can't do it at a high clip as he once could, but I mean, I still think he can shoot about 35% from the 3-point line if given the opportunity, especially if him shooting from the corners, which they say that's the shorter side from shooting from the 3-point range, which is his preferred side. So, I mean, it all might actually balance out a lot better than what people think. But I mean, either way, if the 7-game series happens, I can't wait to see it.